welcome back to a very warm edition of Reaper Pro Tips with me, your host, and Disembodied Hands Quindy, Disembodied Beard John, and all of you. How are you doing today? How's it going, chat? It's gonna be 92 here today, no AC, and we didn't get the house, normally I strive to get the house back down to 70 degrees overnight, but it did not work last night because it didn't get cold enough. So that means we're already starting out with the house at 73, and that's going to make it a rough day, folks. It means that we've got our little AC set up in our bedroom. It means that Papa and I may have to retreat around 4 p.m., because that's when it gets pretty beastly. That's when the house gets up to 80 degrees indoors, but it's still too hot outside on a 90-degree day to actually open it up. 106, nice. Yeah, but I bet you have AC. That's the thing about the hot states, is usually if you live in a hot state, your apartment, house, whatever, already has AC in it. Yeah, whereas a lot of people out here, because we don't get very many really hot days here in this part of California, don't have AC. Alright, let me put back some of this. Actually, yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm happy with the skin tone, so I'm going to put this away. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, that's the good thing about not having AC, right? A good thing is that I don't run up the AC bill. Although, like I said, we have a little portable AC that's in our bedroom that David set up yesterday. So Papa and I can retreat if we have to. Normally, I just put on a tank top and shorts and put a fan on me, and it's okay. But poor Papa and her fur coat. She's already a blob on the floor out there. Poor little Papa. She's yesterday for her walk, and yesterday for her frisbee time, we walked outdoors. She did her her potty, and then she's like, "Nope, no frisbee today." Poor Papa. She's smart. She's smart. All right, I'm gonna get our red together and do the red on the shield, and I think I'm also gonna touch up the red there because that turned out a little bit blotchy for my tastes. So I think we were just using a standard old red. As I recall, blood red. Don't think I was using anything special. Yeah. I'm sure that some of the southern parts, the deserty parts, that you're going to hit that high. When you get down past Bakersfield and you're going to the east, you hit a long deserty stretch heading into the deserty states. Like I said, if you have AC, it's okay. You can weather it. When you don't have AC, then it gets pretty awful. That's when you go sit in your car running the AC. Papa and I should just take a road trip for 3 hours in the afternoon. But yeah, it gets pretty ugly. It does. All right, since I'm gonna work on the shield, I'm planning to make it red. I'm also gonna touch up these pants because although the glaze over the pants worked, it still is. You can see how blotchy it is. How much I could make that look better, right? And that's the thing with glazing is you're not going to get a nice, tight, smooth, beautiful looking blend. This is a quick technique. This is a faster technique, right? So I still want to actually go over and highlight this and make it a little bit better. This is just this technique is, you know how fast it's been moving since we finished the underpaint. And that's great. And like I said, this is good enough for any gaming, any game I played. This is more than good enough. But if I want it to be a studio model, then I have to put some extra effort in. $113 for you today in you're around Phoenix, right? Green Users, south of Phoenix. AZ, one of my favorite states. Just gonna mix up some blood red. I'm gonna thin it a bit more than I usually would, a 2-to-1. I can easily blend with, and our lighting is lemon yellow. So we're going to work with that. North of Phoenix. Oh, all right. Scottsdale area-ish. But yeah, it gets hot. I had a friend who lived in Scottsdale, and she just finally gave up and moved to Maine. And now she has a lake house. It's like the opposite. Like total diametric move across the country. But her daughter had moved up there, so she had a reason. Her best friend actually moved with her. Oh yeah, hailstones. Yep. Desert house meet lake house. Yep. Yeah, she had a nice house in Scottsdale too. I mean, it was a really nice house, but she just got sick of the summers. She was just like, you know what? I'd rather have cold weather. And that's her call. That's not my call. But to each their own. I mean, it's people like me who want to live in the hot states. So even though I'm like good-naturedly complaining about the fact that we don't have AC, I'm still going to be just fine. I'm more worried about the pup. Yeah? Yeah, go get your cooling mat, Papa. So I bought her a cooling mat way back when she was a baby, but I never would let her have it because it's full of gel, right? And she would totally have shredded it as a puppy. So last night, just shy of her 2-year birthday, I decided she was mature enough, and I got it out. And she laid on it while David played computer games after my workout last night, and appears to like it. No, she does not have a kiddie pool. I don't know if she would go into it. We could try one, but I haven't gotten a pool. Because we just don't have the room to store it, Zachariah. I would have to get an inflatable one, a tough inflatable one. That could like stand up to dog claws, although we keep her nails trimmed, but you know what I mean. I have been looking into the inflatable hot tub though. If I get an inflatable hot tub, I guess I have to give Kiki an inflatable kiddie pool. A foldable one? How does that work? Now I have to look that up. Ah, okay. I see. Oh, look, and it's got a dog in it. There you go. Photoshop dog, but still dog. Foldable pet pool. They aren't even saying kiddie pool. They're just saying it's a pet pool. There's an inflatable one, but that's way too expensive. Chewy's got a really inexpensive one. Yeah, interesting. I'll look at it. Foldable pet pool for large dogs. Interesting. Yeah, Amazon's got one. Not too bad. Maybe I'll look into it. She's not, like, she doesn't hate water. She is part water dog. She's 25% water dog. I would thought you would go for Maine for that reason, like Quindy. Like, obviously Corinico doesn't, but like I thought you would, like, given the Eldritch Horror reputation of Maine. But then again, you live in New Orleans, so you know Vampire Central. So really, yeah. See, I don't do Chewy. Got yours on sale. I figured it was worth risk of tearing. Yeah, we don't want deep. The whole point is that she could lie down in it. Maybe we'll try it. I'll suggest it to David. Ask him if I can use the joint account. So I'm just going to do some mixes of our yellow and red. Now, since we are using a red mix, it's not clear red, and since this has white in it and is also a green shade yellow, trying to mix an orange, we're not going to get a very strong orange. I showed this recently on my Patreon last month when I did the color mixing PDF, you get a very muted orange, especially because the white in here is muting it out. But that's what this color with this light on it would make, so it's not a big deal. But yes, I'm also about to do a color mixing video for the YouTube. It's going to be extremely, like, condensed. How about that? I'm not gonna have time to go into detail on anything. It's just gonna be giving some basic guidelines if you want to start mixing colors. So not nearly as in-depth as some of the stuff that I go into with the Patreon. Which is, of course, patreon.com/paintingbig. Thank you all for your support. All right, so there's just a little bit of highlight out on the knee here that I want to fix up. Make it just a little bit more blended and a little less patchy. Yeah, my Shiloh's never wanted water, but Kiki, like I said, she's 25% water dog. About 18% of that, literally. Literally the Wetterhound. So, she doesn't mind it. Like, she's run in the surf at the ocean and stuff. She's never really swum. I've never seen if she wanted to swim, but it's not like we have a place. We might have a, like, dock diving or something, dog water sports place near us, but if so, I don't think I would ever do dock diving with my dogs, because one of Bridget's dogs actually got, like, horrendously injured doing dock diving, because if their paws slip on that slippery surface, they can get hurt. So, I know a lot of people do dock diving with no problems, but ever since, like, what happened there, I decided I'm not interested in that dog sport. So, sorry Kiki, no dock diving for you. Mindy used to do it with all of her dogs. They had a lot of fun with it. But she would also introduce her puppies to swimming in the pool pretty early. Oh no. Justin has made you watch Bigfoot shows. Oh my god. Isn't that above and beyond what your job description is? Come on. Seriously, Justin. Seriously. Alrighty. So I've got that smoothed out a bit now. Just putting it, you can see it's just got a little bit of thicker paint on it. I'm just utilizing it just a little bit thicker. Both of these colors are thinned down to 2:1, so they're actually thicker than a traditional layering consistency, but they're still thin enough, like when I do a wet blend, I can get a decent blend over it. You can see there's a demarcation line there. But again, that's so little. A good glaze would wipe it out. All I have to do really is to paint some red over it, and I can start blending that out if I care. But you know what? Like I said, this is something I'm trying to mention more now, is that layering is never perfect out the gate. There we go. I put some real thin red across the borderline, and now it's fine. I'm gonna die too. Miniatures Den. Woo! You too. Solidarity. Fist bump. Yeah, it's 92. It's gonna be 92 Fahrenheit here today. How hot is it where you are? I'll look up what it means in Celsius. Yeah, please don't die. You don't speak freedom units. Humid in 30 degrees. 30... Celsius to Fahrenheit. 86. Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be 90. Okay, so then probably 32 degrees Celsius here today. Or 30, whatever it does it go up 1 for 1? Let's try. 92. 33.4. So yeah, over 33 Celsius here today. And I don't have air conditioning, which I assume you don't have air conditioning either. So we're suffering together, Miniature Sen. I can decently hack it, but the problem is Kiki because she has a long coat. So I actually invited her to take my nap with me. I take a power nap in the afternoon. I invited her to take my nap with me because I had the AC on in there. But she just wasn't she wanted to just move around too much. She's still too feisty. When it gets cooler, she doesn't want to lay down. She wants to move. So she was very disruptive and I had to exile her. All right, let's put some red over this. Oh yeah, American programs about Nessie, I bet. That's ridiculous. Alright, so let's put a thin coat of red over here. Although, I may just do this traditionally since I've shown you guys glazing on everything else. I may just paint the red over this and then bring it up. I've got a thinner coat anyway. But yeah, it's ridiculous. It is too hot. I agree with Luca. Probably one of the only times, right? I think we agree on a fair amount. Hoping this weekend I can get down to sorting some of the miniature stuff that I want to sell. Should be a little cooler by then. Alright, so we're just going to put a couple coats of red on here and then we're going to bring it up normally. Time-traveling dinosaur, oh god. Oh, lordy. You probably see only our wackiest stuff. Like, I imagine that Europe, imports American media, depending on how wacky it is. Because, entertainment. Kiki will be okay. Like I said, I have her cooling pad, which she really adopted yesterday. She's moved into the tile in the bathroom, I think, now. Because it's nice and cold. I'm just going to make these guys meet in the middle. Yeah, time-traveling dinosaurs. Let's not. We don't really want dinosaurs to be time-traveling. We do not want a T-Rex to suddenly step out of the forest near our house going, "What's up? Thought I'd investigate your era." Oh, look at all the tasty things for me to eat and destroy. Yeah, I don't think so. I would rather not have that nightmare. Oof, we've gone bright with this red. Alright. Now I'm going to have to highlight the heck of it. So I'm going to take some orange, just kind of bring it into the middle here. Remember that we've got a bright light coming against this shield, so we will have to highlight it accordingly. Probably I'll have to bleach out a lot of this red that I just put down. So mixing up something that's a lot like that. Yeah, it's not too bad here yet. Right now it's more like 75 degrees back here in the back of the house. But that will change. I'll get Kiki out on her walk if she even wants to go. She might not want to. We might step outside and I might get the nope face. But we already are taking like the shortest walk. Just around the block. So we'll just stick to the shade as much as we can. So I'm going to fade out this red a bit. I want to kind of look at it from the side. Bring in the color there along the edge. Hey Daffodweir, how's it going? Thank you for the resub. Tier 2 even, for 56 months. You're like funding our show. We appreciate it. So Luca, I've decided to sell a lot of my unpainted miniatures because they make me feel like heavy. They make me feel sad. Like I have this infinite to-do list that's stuffed in my closet. I can't ignore them anymore. Do you get that feeling? Because I know like you're all about the existential dread of miniature painting. Like, so when you have a bunch, do you have a bunch of unpainted stuff or do you just like get rid of it? Or paint it and get rid of it? Or do you just not keep a lot for yourself anymore? I'm just wondering. If you don't want to say, that's cool. Yeah, you gotta sell your 500 dwarves too. I just, like, if there comes a point when I can't fit any new models in there without stacking stuff on top of stuff, that I'm just like, nope. I just can't do this anymore. Like, it doesn't give me any pleasure. And I have a relatively small space to store stuff in this house because it's not a huge house. And so I'm just getting to that mode. I'm just like, I finally snapped. I'm even going to get rid of some of my old Confrontation stuff, which I held on to purely for nostalgia purposes. Oh man, Zechariah. Yeah. I mean, at that point, you just gotta like commit to going to the storage unit like once a quarter, grabbing a couple boxes, and then just dealing with that. Or once every half year, right? And just working through it. And some of this stuff you could probably just bring to Paint Club and free to good home. That's what I did when I was moving. Some stuff I sold and some stuff I gave away. Depending. Oh, gotta go. Alright, I'll see you later. See you later. Alright, I want to get that Death Knight Black out because that's really my liner. I just mixed up some brown liner and then went wrong color and... Yeah, because some people can take it, Zachariah. Like, I can't, though. Like, some people are happy with having a bunch of extra minis that fill up, you know, their basement and or their closets, and it just makes them happy because they've got so much, you know, so many choices when it comes to, like, what they want to feel like painting. It doesn't make me happy. It makes me unhappy, like, actively unhappy, and so I have to work with it. I have to get it away. I've already begun buying less. I've really, really looked at everything very, very, critically as stuff comes up on Kickstarter and things like that. And that's helped. That's helped. But now I need to get rid of some of it. Yeah, entire closet for his Warhammer pile, I bet. Yeah, see, and I do that too. I had a box of, I really like this, I'm going to paint it, and I had a box of, maybe I'll paint this in a little while, and then I had a box of not right now, and then I had a box of hell no. Those were my 4 boxes. But then everything seemed to spread and just like, Yeah, I mean, we're a 1953 house. So, yeah. Closet, like I said, I don't have very much space here to store stuff. Closets were small back then. They didn't think you were going to be, like, acquiring so much crap. They thought you might gasp but use your closets for clothes. Who does that? Yeah, you feel like Santa Claus. Yeah, but people love you for it, so it's so good. Buy their love. Buy their love. Oh yeah, nice, Sakurai. Yeah, that's good. Like painting up some of it for friends D&D. That sounds really like a really good way to deal with it too. All right, I am going to use Death Knight Black and my Blood Red, and I'm going to do some mixes here. Makes kind of a nice, pretty dark purple. And I want to use that kind of as a little bit of a liner here around these little NMM or yellow things. And I want to also get the rivets. So there would be some shadows cast here if the light's coming directly at him. Yep, no pantry. Yep, same here. We deal. It works okay. I just use some of the cabinets as pantry. And I got rid of a bunch of my dishes when I moved in because we didn't need it. Even now, there's probably stuff I could further liquidate. Yeah, we have 5 closets too, I think. No, 6 because the master was added on later, so our house was renovated, and they added on an extra master bedroom, so we had got an extra closet out of that. But yeah, if our house was still in its original state without the reno, it would be exactly that. It would be 3 small bedrooms, each with a small closet, 2 closets in the hallway. Period. And then no pantry, only cabinets in the kitchen. Yeah, it might not be. It might be just an office or a den. That was pretty common back in those days. I mean, this room that I'm in right now, is one of the bedrooms, but it's obviously like more meant to be. It's very small for a bedroom. I mean, maybe you could this could be a kid's bedroom. You could fit a twin bed in here. But not a queen. But yeah, they essentially took half of the garage, and then extended the house out sideways to create the new master bedroom. So we have a tiny garage. Like, a car barely fits in it. We know that because we had to put a car in it once, and it was terrible. You couldn't open the washer and dryer. So it's really not a garage. Really not. All right. I gotta decide what I'm doing with these little guys. If I'm gonna keep them white, in which case they're gonna be that color. But in that case, I want to put some shadows on them, I think. I'm sure they marketed it as a bedroom. You could still just get a dresser and put it in there. So it's still potentially a bedroom. All right, let's go. Let's see what I can do with these. Face on light. Gonna do a shadow right where it curves away. I'm experimenting here to see if I can make this work. I don't know if it will work. I probably will need to do something else with it. But essentially I'm taking the part that's facing away from the light and I'm trying to put a shadow in there so I can make this look a little better. Yeah, people don't realize how little like closet space houses used to have back in the 50s until you live in one. Then you realize how lucky you've been all along. But it really is that, like, people just didn't acquire stuff, right? Back then, like they do now, necessarily. Most people. They're always pack rats. So I'm just going to get that shadow there. I'm going to line around the inside, I think, after all. That I've just, as I try to clear my life up and just make it simpler, I just realized that I'm happier with less stuff. I want to be able to find everything that I need. I want to have it in like clear sight, and I don't want to have to dig for it. And next is organizing the paint. I need to finish organizing the closet that I just cleared, you know, a good chunk out of. It's already making me feel better though. Just to like organize it. I probably want to put my oil paints away for now because I'm not going to be doing anything with oils for a while. So I think this weekend it's pretty much like pull the rest of the crap off like the top shelf, figure out what it is. Just going to put white to try to hit these little rivets. I need to just take some boxes of stuff and store them up on the top because I'm not going to deal with them right now. David has taken over like more than half of the closet, so I kind of want to force him to consolidate a little bit so that I can reclaim some of that space. He won't thank me for it. It'll force him to confront how much crap he's got. So now I'm going to do kind of a reflected light on the back of these little shell shapes, these little fireball shapes. Maybe they're trilobites. Maybe he's a trilobite knight. Maybe that's his little like shell thing. Right? Right? Trilobite. Little tiny trilobites, don't you think so? Trilobites are my favorite like prehistoric like crustacean. I think making him a trilobite knight would be the best. If he did not have little tiny trilobites already on his shield, I would put them there. I would have to freehand a trilobite. The roly-poly of dinosaurs, yep. Obsessed with eBaying stuff, yeah. Yeah, people like that, sure, like I could make more if I eBayed all this stuff instead of offered it to my patrons too. But it's gonna be a lot more fun for me, and it's gonna like have a better feel to it if I offer it to my patrons. Because like you guys have kept me afloat like for years now, like literally, like I don't know what I would have done during the pandemic without you. So this is just like a way I can kind of like offer some of the stuff, and this is stuff that I honestly still feel is really cool. Like these are good models. There is no crap in this. Like this is stuff that I hung on to even after I uh, liquidated a bunch of stuff when I was in Texas. So there is nothing bad in this collection that I'm about to offer. But I really like, I just like the feeling of offering it for less. But yeah, eBay people don't understand that. They look at it and they're like, but money. And it's like, yes, but... And the fact that they're doing it with games that you actually like playing is super funny. I've stripped my house bare, let me sell your things. Yep. That's interesting. They just need to like start a business doing it. People will do that. They will pay you to liquidate their junk. Like, there are people making money doing that. So I'm just putting a little bit of a highlight there. It's kind of an NMM treatment here. I just want to kind of do something with these up here. So I'm going to use the yellow white, the mixture of lemon yellow and pure white for that. Kiki, is it hard to get comfy? I'm sorry, Bubba. Maybe I'll get some wet towels for you, pup. I don't know if she would lie on wet towels, though. I just don't know if she likes being wet. Damp towels. But yeah, I'm looking forward to... I just have to divide all this into lots, and then I have to put pricing on all of it. Need to get some stickers so I can sticker price it in advance. Then once I actually get to doing it, it won't be as much of a pain every time. I'll have it all done, all organized. Thrifting nice things and selling them on eBay. Yeah. Yep. It does. It does it. Yeah. I mean... I don't know. I mean, she's not truly uncomfortable. She's just moving from spot to spot as the floor under her, like, gets warmer as she lies on it. So she's like... She wants to be out here in the hall, because that's where she usually is when I'm streaming. But then the hall is too warm, so she moves to the bathroom, where the tile is. Yeah, it's just gonna... It'll be a hard day for the Keeks, but... I mean, she's got a fair heat tolerance because we don't have AC, so she's used to the house being, 75, 77. Yeah, sounds like if you need more retirement money, you could just sell a bunch of his crap. Christodoma. My parents actually, when they moved to the small duplex that they have now, they sold our old house that I grew up in. They actually were like, you should thank us for this because you, our kids, are not going to have to do all this sorting and selling of stuff when we pass. And that was true. Like that, in retrospect, I was kind of upset at first because I didn't get to visit the old house before they sold it. But then, you know, thinking about how much work it would have been if they had kept the house and if Pete and I had to do it, I was actually pretty happy that they did that. Just gonna put these little rivets like between on the top of the little trilobites now. Very clutter free. Yep. Yeah. Exactly, Zachariah. Like, I just don't want to leave, like... I want enough stuff to be, like, to have options, but I don't want too much stuff where I burden, you know, whoever ends up having to work through it. I want to make sure that anything I have that might have value to somebody I care about is already rehomed before it happens. Assuming I get, you know, a decent amount of time to do that in. But this is why the periodic purge kind of makes me happy. Oh, that's funny, Thormel. Yep, yeah, right. I mean, that just shows you that my parents are pretty considerate people. Like, right, they thought about it. They were like, you know what? Let's just clear this out. Yep. Yeah, we benefited off of an estate sale, a miniatures estate sale a while ago. Picked up a bunch of terrain bits and classic busts and stuff. David mostly. If that works for you, that works for you. I'd want to rehome the dragons before I passed because I wouldn't want like, them to go to crappy people. I'd want to choose. I'd want to choose who gets my dragons. I thought it was hilarious and threatened to haunt you if anything nice gets thrown away. It's like, that was only half a joke, folks. Alright. Still not, like, awesome. I'm gonna brighten the center here and then work out. In fact, I think at this point it's time to mix up an orange for this because doing spot mixes, if I'm going to do a substantial amount of layering, doesn't work for me. So let us take our blood red and our lemon yellow and create a mix. South Carolina. Yeah, you would die a sloppy death without air conditioning. Yep, yep. Yeah, when I was in Texas, it was the same way, Catherine. But now that I'm in, like, mid-California, where we only get, like, I would say we get 2 weeks of really hot days spread out through the summer. Like, 14, maybe. And I can hack it. Like, David, he just goes to work. He's got AC at work, and by the time he gets home, it's time to open up the house and air it out a bit. It was still hot. Like, yesterday, I told him, you're going to want to put on shorts, and he never wears shorts. So he, like, scoffed at me. When I came back from CrossFit, which also doesn't have AC, by the way, did my CrossFit routine with no AC yesterday in, like, 80-degree weather. And when I came home, he, like, was no shirt and wearing shorts. So I had to laugh. I'm like, aha, he has realized. Oh, yeah. Well, that's really nice of you, Graniko. I'm glad that you survived, though. I'm glad that you got to keep all your dragons. But yeah, I guess if you make a list and then you can be happy because you have your list and you're like, I'm going to keep my dragons right up till the end, and afterwards my list will have my dragons distributed. Draconic distribution. The law of draconic distribution. Alright, so we're just going to mix up this kind of muted out reddish, orangey, pinkish color. And we're just going to use that. Alrighty, now let's apply this to the shield and do some blending. So I want to really brighten up the center here, so I'm going to do a little bit of wet blending with a little bit more yellow. That's a bit better. That's better. All right, so now we're going to extend that. So I need to have that suggestion that the light is really bearing down on this point at the center of the shield, so I had to bring it up to a yellow-white. Now we're going to lighten parts here. We're going to keep kind of a darker shadow behind these trilobite shapes because that's where there would be one, and we're going to lighten up the areas out here where there is a dip here where the light can come through. Yeah, I can't go online and tell everyone you're gone and who wants this dragon. Oh, that's a terrible thing. Yeah. Mixing a slightly lighter orange. We're going to go do kind of cone shapes. Nope, put them on eBay. The nice thing about Warhammer as a hobby is that somebody will always buy your old Warhammer. You can always make some money back. If you don't want to, you know, keep like a couple of pieces that you really like to remind you, and yeah, get the rest going. I agree with your hubby. I'm going to experiment with kind of doing like a cone-shaped highlight going out here. Let's see how that looks. Just kind of keep a little bit of shadow right here behind. In fact, I think I might just darken that down a bit. Right behind the trilobites, and then I'm going to wash out everything else. Yeah, at least you can joke about it now. Yeah. Now you're an inspirational story, Korniko. Like you fought your way back, and now you're like almost back to where you were. Which I believe, if I remember correctly, your doctors didn't think you would be. Like, they should do a news story about you. So we're just going to put some shadow back here to show that the light is being blocked a bit by these little raised areas on the shield, the trilobites. The unitrilobites, as they have little unicorn nubbins on their foreheads. Maybe I'm getting a little too fanciful with this, but I love trilobites, and I cannot lie. They were probably tasty, too. Ah, you're not a mental mess. You have your priorities in the right place. Dragons, 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 more dragons, food, friends, dragons, board games, dragons. Right? Oh, exercise, dragons. We are all mental messes, though. We're all little mental messes. And cats. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. Cats, dragons. Well, the cats are kind of mini dragons anyway. So now you can see how this is coming together. I'm bringing the shadows in. I'm kind of bleaching out the red. I'm kind of keeping a little bit of a red transition area to keep the color, but the color is going to look right because it's the same as this color down here on his red pants. So the shield is still going to read as red. This side we haven't gotten out to dealing with for a while, or yet. I don't know, Hyper Bunny. I think that I mean, what worked for me, although I don't know, you don't have a paint club near you. Outside is even hotter, yeah, I bet. But I mean, when I was going to be moving away from Texas, I gave most of my Eldar, like all the stuff that was still in box that I hadn't even like gotten out of the shrink wrap yet. I gave that all to one of my paint club kids. He wasn't even 18. I think he was about to go to college. But I knew that he loved Warhammer, but that he didn't have money because he was, an 18-year-old about to go to college kid. So I gave him my Eldar, and he was just like blown away. So I think maybe the place to look is wherever your local store sells Games Workshop, if they have game nights. Or wherever you can find that's close that might have like some Warhammer game night or something like that. If you can find a kid, even a local college might have a club. But if you can find a kid who is cool and struggling to afford the hobby but really loves the hobby, I think that's the best place to put that kind of thing. Because that's usually, that's the age when they're like all into it, but it's such an expensive hobby. There we go. So now we've got the hint of shadows back here. I'm going to kind of close those out. Yeah. I'm sorry that you're dying, Miniature Stem. Please don't really die though. Like, you can consider it for a bit if you like. Right, keep an eye on things. Well, I've got another half hour. I thought for sure this would take longer. I like the look of the shield now. Yeah, I mean, even just going through a little bit of it, Twisted Oma, a little bit of it at a time, it helps, right? Especially if your kids are going to, not know what to do with it. Like, some stuff is probably evident. Like, they could always keep your miniatures and your stuff, hobby stuff, right? But some crap. Only you will, sometimes, it depends, right? But chances are you will be the best person to figure out, how to classify your things. So it's a good thing that you're thinking about doing that for them. My parents felt that it was a real gift to give to us, that we wouldn't have to deal with it. And to think of it that way, to think about it that you're giving them a gift that they won't have to spend weeks of their lives, figuring out and crying over your stuff, it is very cool. My mom still has some art stuff. She knows, though, that when, when it happens, when she's no longer with us, I will totally take her art stuff. Absolutely. All the canvases and brushes and paints, I will take it all. So. Yeah, so you probably know then. I mean, if you've got that Hyper Bunny, the answer of who to like offload some of your Warhammer onto should be pretty easy. Because if you know the people at your local store, isn't there a person who like, doesn't have a ton of money but loves the hobby that might benefit? So just ask yourself that. I mean, or if you don't have anybody there, ask anybody if they've got kids, depending on the age group, the age people at your store. But if they've got kids who want to get into Warhammer, tell them that you're looking to rehome some models. Don't even say armies at first. Just say some models, feel it out that way. Yeah, right. 2.5 years and they're still cleaning out her estate, right? That's a crazy right there. I don't want to be that. Especially because, like, I don't have kids, so, like, it'll be my nephew and my niece, right? I don't want to stick them with going through a bunch of crap. And David doesn't have any, like, I don't know who his closest younger relative is, but it's not a very close one. I don't think it's anybody we even know. Alright, so there we go. I like that a bit better. I think I'm going to saturate a little bit more in here. Leave the house to me, I'll take it. I know, it gets hot out here, Miniature Stand. But I probably, this house, I don't know. If David passed before me, totally selling this house and moving to Hawaii. There, putting a little bit more saturation in. 5 kids and yeah, I'm not agreeing. Yep. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, I like that. I think David might have worked out yesterday. I don't want to ask him, but I think he might have. He took a shower, so while I was at CrossFit, so he was gonna like not do it just because it was so hot, but I think he's maybe getting. I've finally gotten him moving around to the mindset of like exercising. I think the fact that I totally, like, destroyed him when he did the Saturday workout with me last week, I think that may have finally, like, I think it may have gotten to him. Maybe I just had to have his competitive urge kick in. I can't let my 50-year-old girlfriend or wife, outdo me at lifting weights. But I totally did. All of his life he's had natural athleticism and he never had to work for it, and now he has to work for it. Like, sweet victory. Alright, so we've got our shield there. We're almost, like, it's pretty much, like, close to done here, folks. I think I'm gonna do red on the hilt here. The hilts of weapons are a nice place to throw in a color accent when you want to repeat a certain color around the model. It's over in shadow here, so it's not going to be very bright, but it'll still be there. Let me get just a little bit of highlight. There we go. I want to do his hair. I'm going to do that with some russet brown because it's going to mix best with yellow. Although actually I was going to do, maybe I was going to do some ruddy leather there. Let's do that. Let's do some reddish brown. I think it'll be okay. I haven't done the math yet because I know it's going to scare me, but like if I do succeed in my goal of living to be 100, I don't even want to think about how old my niece and nephew will be. Like they'll be in their they might be in their 70s, like or maybe no, Graham will be in his 60s, but still, like my nephew will be of retirement age. If I live to 100, my nephew will be retirement age. I'm just like, oh my god. Huh. That's a Quindy question. Quindy knows Twitch maybe better than I do. Why you can't reply to whispers in Twitch. Huh. Is there a setting maybe that allows you to do it? Or blocks it? Or something? Like a default that doesn't essentially... that turns off that functionality? Hey, Roger. Yeah. And if I bought a house in Hawaii, I mean... I don't know if I'd give that one to you, Luca. I'm sorry. I adore you and all, but I might adore my nephew more. Oh, interesting. Okay, so people can turn off incoming whispers. So I'm going to do just a little bit of russet brown up here. It's such a small area that it's really not going to show up. And I'm still going to use a little bit of yellow to highlight it. Then we'll do that same color down on his feet. Whispers now seem to ask for a phone number. Weird. Yeah, that sounds scammy to me. Sounds like scam whispers. Just gonna highlight the... See, it's just barely a different color. If you're trying to whisper Quindy, you should just like go to Discord or something. Talk on Discord, not Twitch. I'm just gonna keep that a little bit darker there. Desaturated. Oh, everything wants to switch over to two-factor authentication. Yeah. So maybe that's it. Private messages. Thormel. doing a little bit of lining back here. Because if you can't go up, because there wouldn't be light back here, you can always go down to introduce a little more contrast. Oh, miniature's down. We knew it. We knew Luca would be there on that one. Technology hates you. Technology secretly hates all of us, I think. Alrighty. Ugh, can I even get in there for those eyes? So tiny. I'll try to do one eyeball. This eyeball is really squinty. This one I might be able to reach. Eyeballs. Eyeball time. So since the light is yellow-white, I'm going to use that color kind of for the reflection of his whites. I have to figure out where that eye is, and then... Yeah, I think I see it. Oof, it's tiny. This is the problem with very tiny eyes these days. Gotta get where I can see it. Maybe I can get the other one. It's just so recessed though. All right. But I'm just going to have him looking like in this direction. So we'll bring in a little bit of brown liner to do the iris and pupil. The eye's not big enough. Just going to suggest that there's... Let's see if I can get a better angle on that. Better. But yeah, with everything buried under this, the hair and the heavy helmet, it's really hard to even pick up that eye there, but it's good enough. But I think maybe I want to bring up a little bit of reflected light over here. Otherwise, guys, as far as like the fast underpaint paint job with glazing, like there you go. It's pretty good. Oh, I haven't done the bracers. We'll do those, I think. Or oh, there's a little bit of light, a little bit of metal back here. That's right, I missed it. I'm sorry you can't private message people, Kariko. Sorry, Twitch is twitchy. Alright, I don't want to bring in a lot of light, but I want to bring in just a little light and a little reflected. Just to suggest that that's metal in really dim lit circumstances. And I'll bring up the light just a little bit more. I need to bring that down a little. That was too high. Just want it a little bit higher. That's too bright. So you can see that's just too bright because it's really conflicting with everything around it. I was better off with the first one. So then I'm going to take our Death Knight Black and we're just going to glaze that down a little bit. Let it dry. Assess. Want to keep taking it down just a little bit more, I think. There. That's better. And we've got a little bit of light underneath there. I need a little bit of light on that pommel. go check, yeah. Alright, I need to bring a little bit more Death Knight into this color there. Because although this is metal, there's really not a lot it's going to be catching other than reflected light down here. So you can't make it too bright. You can make it a little brighter than like the skin and everything here. So you can make it just a little bit lighter because metal will catch more light. I want to bring it up just a little bit more back down here. And mix a separate well of this color so that I can control the consistency. Death Knight Black. I'm making it real thin. I want to do layering. And then we'll do a little bit more down here. Because we have a little bit more here. So I'm going to bring in a little more light, make this equivalent to that. Bring this a bit out here. There we go. It's a little better. I want to liven that up, put more of a little bit more reflected light, because again, I'm going to have a little bit more reflected light on the metal than I am on any of the clothes or anything. So, but otherwise, this is looking pretty good. Again, this little metal handle here, just going to catch it just a little bit. Goes a little bit too high, I'll glaze it. But I just want to show up against the back of the shield. And there's a tiny bit of metal that peeks out here. So we'll get a little highlight there. Same, that's over here. Little elbow plate. Suggest that. Alrighty. So yeah, so this, though the underpainting took us, what, a day and a half, 2 days. So the underpainting took us 3 hours, but the rest of the paint job shorter than that. And really, if I hadn't stopped to blend some of this stuff and do a little bit nicer job on it, it would have been like super fast. So, I mean, when the most time is spent like just setting up the underpainting, it can be effective. And it can also, like, if you want to do a lighting effect, it can be a nice way to remind you just where your highlights and shadows are and to make it look correct when you're kind of not sure about that stuff. Eventually you get to the point where you can kind of extrapolate and imagine this stuff and you don't have to do the underpainting, but even then though, I think the underpainting has value when you're trying to do something directed. And technically I could have really blacked out this area and made it very dark. If I wanted the light that's coming at him to be super bright, I would have really blacked, like this would have become an occlusion shadow, really, really black. And then I would have brightened up a lot more of this stuff, even lighter. But instead I left the brightest highlights to be the metal, which it should be, just to show you where the light's heading from. Technically I need to minimize that a little bit. Wrong placement there. Need to take this shadow and shove it back. When you check your light placement and you can see a shadow, you're like, oh, all right. So I'm just going to buff out a little bit of that shadow. The helmet does have a shape to it here, so I can echo that shape. And then when I look at it from the front, you can see more that the light is just like all over it. There, that's perfect. So now the shadow only starts to creep around as we move away from the light. That's what we want. So, and I want to white out some of this area here. Really bright, really hot highlight. So yeah, it's not perfect, but it does the job. There we go. A little bit of light there. That's about right. Okay. And then I want to dim down a little bit of the light on that edge. You like it? Good. This was a super fast one. We just did the underpainting Luca in Death Knight Black and kind of a yellow white just to do the sketch. And then just did a lot of glazing of colors over the top. It's a simple mini. For these simple models that I've got that I just want to use on the stream, it's cool if we can do something unusual with them. Do an unusual take on it. Alright, let's do some quick highlights on the stonework. And I'm going to mix up a quick medium Death Knight Black plus white color and a higher light. And those colors look like this. Second. So that's a Death Knight Black plus white. That's a Death Knight Black, white, and a little bit of yellow. Just again, because our light color is a little bit not just white. So it's going to green out these bluish stones a little bit. I'm just going to paint this kind of like, almost like I'm wet dry brushing. I just want to figure out where the stones are and where the cracks between are. There's big cracks between there. And then I can emphasize the cracks between the stones and de-emphasize. There. All right. Well, this is Trilobite Night. I don't know what kind of voice Trilobite Night would have. So since the light is so bright, the shadows between the stones are going to be very stark. Oh, Kiki hears things. Keekers, it's okay, it's just a truck outside. Yeah, it's a truck. She's like, are you sure you don't need me to guard you from that, Mom? Are you sure? So just putting in that darker color just to like make all these big ragged dungeon stones stand out. The bark. Did it make you jump? It scared you, Luca. Kiki! Keeks, come here. So good. Come up, say hi. Come up, say hi. Come on. Yay, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, you can do it. Oh, come on. You can do it. You can do it, Kiki. Yay! Good girl. Kiki sighting. She says, look at this fur. I am not a dog that should be in 90-degree weather. I am not. I am not. Yeah. David keeps offering to shave you. Yeah, I tell him no. I tell him no. He can't shave your glorious coat. Nope. You would be a sad, sad dog if he did. You would. Be a sad, sad dog. Oh, yes. Good girl. Good girl. Thank you for getting up and seeing this stream. Good, Gosu. We had to have a Kiki sighting. Oh, bye, Crowley. Yeah, good girl, Kiki. Good girl. You're protecting Mama. Yeah, we gotta hand this show on the road over to Luca now. So, guys, we'll be starting probably a new model next time. I'll finish up his basing just a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to pan this one off to Ron or not. He's got, like, the original painted set Rhonda did, and so he probably doesn't need this one. And this is a good example, too. A good example model, just to show, like, the shadow, the occlusion shadow and stuff. So we'll hang on to this one, probably. Doinky doinky. Doinky doinky? I don't know. But, yes. So, we'll do that and we'll start a new one. I'm just going to use this slot to, like, work on the simple stuff. So, possibly some other models from this set of the Siocast ones. So, like, the lady with the torch, things like that. So, we'll do that. We'll probably do more lighting stuff. Yeah, just work it that way. I don't want to hold Luca up, though, because he's melting. He's melting. We don't know how much longer he's going to be with us, so I've got to hand him over so he can stream for y'all really quick. All right? And you all get your Kiki sighting, so we're all good. But yes, I have to go and give the Keeks a walk. It is currently... Oh my god, it's 81 already, guys. That is 27 degrees Celsius. It's already 27 degrees Celsius here. Yuck. All right. We're going to go take a very quick walk in the very hot weather. I hope you all have a lovely day. Quindy, thank you as always for wrangling the stream. Tomorrow, when we are back, we are on Giant Sophie. So we'll be working more on her. We might be doing more green stuff. We got the crystal pretty good, I think. But yeah, we'll be working on her. You'll just have to tune in to see what we do. Okay? Thanks, everybody. Luca, have a good stream. Bye-bye.